was saying medical practice calendar is used to create an appointment. For those employees who have to go for medical checkup, we need to create the appointment in the medical practice calendar. And I was about to show you like exactly how it is done. What transaction code? EHSH_D_PCP.
Sir, have you started recording?
Yes, I started.
Okay, thanks.
So either see you can go to the planning. Yeah.
T code, sir.
Transaction EHSH_D_PCP.
Okay.
See, it's okay. I will share the notes. But why I'm actually bringing you here to the planning cockpit is because medical practice calendar is where we can create the appointment. We cannot directly go to medical practice calendar. That is not possible. Because medical practice calendar is a part of your planning cockpit, or it is part of your schedule planning. Independently, we cannot go to medical practice calendar. So therefore, I have used the transaction code applicable for a planning cockpit. So after coming down here to the planning cockpit, first and foremost, there is a step-by-step process we have to follow. Okay, like first we have to select the employee for whom we want to assign the protocol and do all this scheduling process. First select the employee. That employee will be added to the list of persons. And from here we have to add that employee under the planning list. Okay, search the employee here, add the employee to the list of persons, then add that person or employee to the planning list. From there on, we can like do the assignment of protocol, we can open a medical service, all that we'll see in detail later on. But here, my plan is just to show you how we can create an appointment, that's it. So therefore, don't worry if I am little fast here, because my plan here is only to show you the medical practice calendar, nothing much. So therefore, I will select randomly some employee. Okay, let's select this employee. Then that employee name will appear here in the list of persons. Add them to the planning list. By clicking this option, you can add the employee to the planning list. Yeah, like this. Now after doing that, we have to select the person by selecting this option. And first we will assign some protocol. Okay. So step by step I'll tell you later, but I'm just doing it little fast. Okay, let's say we are going to send him for employment medical checkup. So select the category, select the protocol number as employment checkup, and in examination type you already know the employment checkup is done only once. So therefore we have just initial examination. Then select the date, on which date you are sending the employee. Okay, maybe tomorrow for example. Right, after doing that we have to open a medical service. Again, don't worry about that, we'll see in detail. We'll just go here, select the protocol number, and then open a medical service. Okay, just I have to select that option, open medical service. It will open the medical service and we will have a service number like this, 244. This is our medical service number. After that, in the third step, we have to create an appointment. So to create an appointment, I have to first select the medical service or just service here. Click here and select that service. Then click on medical practice calendar. So once you click on that, you can see that there is a calendar. It is just like a Outlook calendar where you can go to any particular date and you can select the time and create an appointment. Let's say for example, we are sending the employee tomorrow for the medical checkup. So select that date. At what time do you want to create the appointment? Do you want to send the employee early morning at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. whatever is the time period, you click on the time and then above there is an option called create appointment. Right? I hope you can see. Above we have an option called create appointment. So by clicking on that, we'll get another screen like this. It is exactly like how you find in the Outlook, Microsoft Outlook. Same thing. But here we have made some changes so that we can use it for creating a medical appointment. Okay, anyways, so we have the start date and we have the end date, and the starting time is of course at 9 a.m. Now you can select the end time also, maybe let's say up to 12 o'clock. Okay, 12 o'clock. Or if it is a entire day, full day event, you can select all day event also. If you know the room number, by the way, we will not know because he will be going for some medical center. We don't know in advance in which room number the medical checkup will be done. See, that is why I told you this is an adaptation of Outlook application, because in Outlook what happens, whenever we are creating a meeting, we will also put the meeting room number. That is the usual practice. Even when I was working in my previous organization, I used to create a meeting link and I used to put the room number where that meeting will be conducted. But we are adopting that same Microsoft Outlook for our medical practice calendar. So therefore they have given this room number as well. But normally we will never know that, which room. So leave it as it is. Then select the time zone. According to whichever time zone you are creating this medical checkup, let's say Central Europe. Okay, and there are several other options like visibility, whether you want to keep this appointment private or do you want to make it public or you want to keep it secretive. These are some of the visibility options they have given. We can keep it private because it's a medical checkup. Now, what is a priority? You are sending the employee for medical checkup, so whether it is having a very high priority or a low priority or a medium priority, you can give any priority. It's a general medical checkup, so maybe you can keep the priority as medium. Next, time period, this entire time for 3 hours, is it reserved for one employee or whether other people also can utilize that time? So again, this is option they have given. You can keep this entire 3 hours of time as reserved, or you can make it available for other people also in case if this employee does not show up. So let me keep it as reserved, and the appointment status is planned. Next, you can come down and create a description. Exactly what is this medical checkup about and what is going to happen. Some detail you can add in the form of text. Let's say I'll write here, this is a general medical checkup which is mandatory for all the employees once they join the organization. Okay, like that, something you can add a text and then you can click on continue. So now what happens in your calendar, that entire duration from 9 a.m. up to, actually there is a time difference here. I have selected Central European time. So according to that it is stopping here at 11:30, but actually it should come down up to 12:30, but no problem. This is your appointment which has been created for 11th of June from 9 a.m. Once this has been created, it will reflect on all the other medical practice calendars. If somebody else is also trying to create, even it will reflect for him. So this is how you can create an appointment and then you can continue. Right? So that is your medical practice calendar. Very simple. Just like creating a meeting, we can create an appointment. Okay, so this is where we had stopped. I wanted to show you this, so I logged into the server, but still there is some theory left. We don't have any definition for medical practice calendar, so you can, I hope, understand from the example that I have given. Okay, let's now move on to other data objects. like here we have next after medical practice calendar, we have invitation. So what is invitation? Invitation letter is something like you are issuing it for an employee so that he can go and get the medical checkup done. It contains information where the medical checkup will be done and on which date he has to go and at what time he has to go. Those details will be there in the invitation. But they have also given a small description about this. Let me write. A written request to the person in question to undergo a health surveillance protocol on a specified date as part of a medical service. Okay, so it is a written request. Very clearly they are saying it contains a request to the employee who will be going for the medical checkup, and it will contain details like on which date and at what time he has to go and what is the medical center. That is an invitation letter. Next we go to a very important term called as medical service. I had told before this also one more medical service. So what is a medical service which I had told earlier? What is the meaning of medical service? And where did I tell you? Do you remember medical service?
If some
Medical
person
center.
undergo the health surveillance protocols, so whatever means list of process means like test and including that
Hmm.
accordingly
Hmm.
will follow
Hmm.
medical service.
No, that is not medical service. That is health surveillance protocol. Whenever any employee is going for a medical checkup, what are the medical tests we have to do for him? Or what are the laboratory tests we have to do? What are the physical tests we have to do? That information will be there in the health surveillance protocol. But medical service is different.
What
There is
kind
a
of service
process.
they are providing that thing, sir?
What kind of service?
Based on the employee condition and diagnosis, what kind of
No,
service they are providing?
I had told
Uh,
like that.
if we consider means like if you have do the blood test, so
Hmm.
whatever procedure we are doing in the blood test that comes
Hmm.
under the medical service.
No, no, it is not that. Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Fine. See, a medical service is a ticket or a token, or it is a reference number using which you can track the status of that medical checkup. I gave you my example. If I have to go for a general medical checkup tomorrow, today they will create a medical service. Or they will open a medical service. So it is like a ticket. How you get the complaint number, there will be a number for this ticket. And tomorrow, if you want to check what is the status, whether did I really go for that medical checkup or not, whether I completed the medical checkup or not, if I want to see that status, they will go to that medical service number and they will check. Right? That is called as a medical service number. It is a reference number using which you can check the status of the medical checkup. But yeah, and where did I tell you? Like when I have shown you medical practice calendar, remember before going to medical practice calendar, I opened a medical service. Right? Let me see if it is still there. Yeah. Okay, see here. First, I assigned a protocol or assigned which medical checkup the employee will be going for. Then what I did, I opened a medical service and this is the service number. Then I went to medical practice calendar. So this medical service here is like a ticket or a token and it has a particular reference number. Right. So that is what is a medical service I told you in the planning cockpit. See here in planning cockpit I have written open medical service. But this medical service is different from the secondary medical service. This has a different definition and I have to explain it. But it is like a database. Okay, fine. Let me first write the definition, then I'll tell you. Medical service is a component that enables you to handle all the processes involved in managing health surveillance protocols in the company health center. Yeah, so what did you understand? What is medical service? See, I'll tell you in very simple
Means,
words. Yeah.
this medical services means generally only for the occupational health centers.
Yeah.
Means another kind of medical service, the pre-employment medical service. All those can be done by via third party like Medibuddy and all. Means but this I think medical service can only be accessed and only be used for health centers of the organization. I think.
Okay, you are saying that maybe for one medical center, for one medical service, we have to send the employees to any outside health center, and this other medical center service which I am explaining here, we can use this medical service only for the company medical center or company health center. No, it is not exactly like that. Maybe that is why this definition is little difficult to understand. But let me tell you more clearly. The medical service which I am explaining now, it is like a database. Okay, it is like a master record or it is like a database. This medical service contains each and every information about the employee's medical condition. Like if the employee has suffered any injury last year, that data you can find here. If the employee went for some medical checkup last month, that information you can find here. If the employee has taken some vaccinations through the company, that vaccination related data also you can find. Not only that, if the employee has some work restrictions means because of some injury, if he is not able to perform his job, then what the doctor will tell, they will advise some work restriction. For example, if somebody's shoulder is broken because of accident, shoulder injury has occurred and he cannot lift any weight. So what the doctor will say, they will advise that please do not lift any load or do not lift any material more than 10 pounds for maybe 6 months because your shoulder is already injured, so it should not get aggravated. So avoid any kind of work where you have to lift the material. So what do you call that? It's a work restriction. Another employee, maybe he is suffering from dust allergy. He cannot stand dust. Wherever there is even a little bit of dust, he will get triggered and he will start sneezing because of dust allergy. So can you make him work in a dusty environment? It is actually not correct. No, it's not improper. It's not proper. So what the doctor will do, again they will give a suggestion that there is a work restriction on this employee. Please do not work in a dusty environment. We have to give him some other job in some other location. Like these are called as a work restriction. So if you want to see for which employee what kind of work restriction is in place, you can go to medical service and you can find out. Not only that, all the medical checkups he has went so far, you can see the data. All the injuries that he has sustained, you can see the data. If he was involved in any accident, even that data you can see. So related to any employee, any medical data you want to access, you can go to medical service and you will get all the data. So it is like a repository, or it is like what should I say, data storage, or it is a
Medical
database.
history.
Yeah, all the medical history for all the employees. At one place you will get all the data. Even if he is suffering from any family related health issues, that you can find here. It's like a data repository. For every employee, you will find a medical service created, and that will contain all the data. Right? That is called as a medical service. But here, what I have already shown you, it is just a number. It's just a reference number called medical service number. But now I will show you this other medical service which I am talking about. I will show you that. If you want, you can take down this transaction code EHS AMB TAET. EHS AMB TAET. Okay, so let's go to this, and first you have to select any employee name, right? Otherwise you cannot see the detail. So let me select one employee. There is one employee for whom there is a lot of data they have created. Complete data you can find, and that employee name is Michael Ryder. So even in your server, please, when you want to see this, go to Michael Ryder employee name, and under that you will get the complete data. All the injuries he sustained, all the medical checkups he went for, everything you will find here. Right? Select that employee name and press enter, and you will find the medical service, all the history and everything related to Michael Ryder here. It's a very elaborate, that is why I told you it's like a database. You see how many tabs are there? Just imagine how many tabs. It will contain every information for this Michael Ryder. Okay, see, like what are the services that he has opted for, which are the medical services for which he went, and you can see the service number also. When I opened a medical service, I got a number, right? So here you can see this is the medical service number, or it is a ticket or token. So this medical service is different and this medical service is different. So first tab is the services tab, where it will show all the different medical checkups he went for, or what kind of vaccination he has taken. Everything will be seen in the first tab. Next is case history. Related to his family case history or occupational case history, if you want to see the information, you can find here. We have one occupational case history where this Michael Ryder lost hearing. Maybe because of exposure to noise, he lost hearing. So this is one occupational case history we have. Next, all the protocols or general examinations for which he went. So you have here employment checkup. He went for employment checkup. Then lot of chemical related medical checkups were conducted for him. He also went for noise exposure medical checkup. Some general medical checkup also was done on Michael Ryder. So it will show you the health surveillance protocol, on which date that medical checkup was carried out, and what is the next due date. If it is a repetitive protocol, then what is the next date that he has to go for. So these details you can find in protocol or general examination. Next, vaccination related data. So in your medical service, it will also show you what are the vaccinations that the employee has taken. And I can see here Michael Ryder has taken hepatitis vaccination. Hepatitis A or B vaccination, initial vaccination done, second vaccination, third dose, and also booster shot. I think booster shot was not taken. Fine. Then we have other tabs like examinations. What kind of examinations were conducted on Michael Ryder? 3 times he went for, 4 times he went for audiogram test. On different dates, he went for audiogram test. And it will also show exactly on which date he went for that examination and what was the result. By the way, this is also important. The result will tell you whether the test was normal or whether the result was significant. Significant means what? Normal, everybody knows. It's a normal test result. But what is significant? Here 2 times, in fact 4 times, for at least audiogram test it is showing significant 2 times. But in the first time when he went, it was normal. So what do you mean by significant result?
Not normal, I guess.
Then you can call it as abnormal. See, when you go for any kind of medical checkup or any medical test, normally when you get the result, no, when you get the report, every parameter will have a range. Okay, minimum value will be there, maximum value will be there, and your result should be between that. It should not be below minimum value and it should not be more than the maximum value. It should be somewhere in the middle, within the range. So if you get such a result, we can call it as a normal. But significant means if the test result is significantly more than the maximum value, or if the test result is less than the minimum value, then we call it as a significant, because there is a deviation from the range of values. It should have been within that range, but unfortunately the result is coming outside of that range. It can either be more on the higher end or it can be lesser than the minimum value. Such kind of values we call it as significant. So I think he had some hearing issue, Michael Ryder, that is why we got the significant value here. So that is abnormal. Yeah, you can say it is abnormal because it is not coming under the range, normal range. So you can find all the examinations conducted for Michael Ryder, including blood test, urine test, lung function test, examination of ear also is done. So all these are different examinations. See, wherever physical examination comes, we don't get this normal or significant, right? Because in a physical examination, we are only observing, like examination of ear. You don't get any value here, no? We are simply examining. That is why we don't have any result here as normal or significant. They have left it blank. So these are the list of examinations for Michael Ryder. Next, diagnosis. What are the different diagnoses done for Michael Ryder? I think there is some insulin related diagnosis done, and also for hearing loss another diagnosis has been done. Very detailed record. Next, going to consultation. What kind of different consultations did he go for? These are the consultations. It is showing there are 2 consultations he went for. Both are dietary related consultations. Or it can be a general consultation or orthopedic consultation, oncology consultation. We'll see how we can customize this data, how can we create different types of consultations. But for Michael Ryder, he went in both the cases for the dietary consultation. Okay, this is the consultation data. Next, medical measures. What kind of medical measures were advised for Michael Ryder? Suppose if he was losing his hearing capability, then what kind of medical measure was advised for him? Whether he has to wear the PPEs or whether he should work in some other work area or any other kind of medical measure that was advised to him will be given here. This is all about the medical measures advised for Michael Ryder. Next, his personal details you can find under person, his address, his telephone number and other details. Personal details. Next, we have restrictions. So work restriction I told you, remember. Maybe Michael Ryder had some injury earlier, so they have given a work restriction here that he cannot lift, push or pull over 10 pounds of load. This is a work restriction. Maybe Michael Ryder is having vertigo and he may feel giddiness while working at height. So they are saying no overhead work because he has some phobia of heights. And then there is one more work restriction called other, where they are saying that he should not wear the protective gloves because he is suffering from a skin condition called eczema. He is suffering from eczema, therefore he should not wear the gloves. These are all called as work restrictions. Then related to Michael Ryder, if there are any documents like medical reports or lab reports, anything like that, we can also upload it here. Okay, these are two documents which are applicable for Michael Ryder. Maybe it is a fitness certificate, as I can see, given for Michael Ryder. Right, so apart from these tabs, by the way, we have one more tab called close. So if you want to close any medical service here, you have to select that and we can close that medical service. Like for example, I will not go into detail, guys. We'll see this again later on. But yeah, you can see here they have also attached the questionnaire. For every medical checkup that he went for, there is a questionnaire that he has to fill. For example, let me show you some questionnaire. We have this questionnaire here for chemical related medical checkup. So if I double click on that, that questionnaire will open. You see, this is the questionnaire I was speaking about. This is the questionnaire. Now if you observe, we have a number of, first of all, we have the details about that employee. The details about the employee are given in the first section. Then if you go down, we have all the questions, different questions applicable for that employee, which has been maintained here. Okay, for example, check agents you work with on a regular basis in previous or other jobs. So what are the agents or hazards he was exposed to? It is showing here vibration. This is one hazard. Next, are you wearing PPE during your work? If yes, which one are you wearing? Yes, I am wearing the PPE and it is what? Safety glasses. Further, there are other questions. General review of your health systems. During the past 12 months, have you had any of the following disturbances? No, he had no medical condition in the last 12 months. Then go down. Have you ever had hearing problems together with dizziness and tinnitus? No. Do you have frequent ringing or buzzing in your ears? Again, no. Have you ever had an acute hearing loss? No. All these are related to ear. Maybe they have selected the wrong questionnaire. This questionnaire is applicable for audiogram test. Fine. So all these are questions and there are some general questions also. Do you smoke? How much do you smoke? That also he has to answer. If he is smoking, he has to tell how many packs. Have you ever smoked cigarettes regularly? Yes. Have you ever smoked cigarettes regularly? If yes, how many years? Do you currently drink any kind of beverage containing alcohol? If yes, how often did you drink during the past 12 months? So all these are general questions. So he has to answer whichever is applicable. They have to select that. All the questions has to be answered. And then he has to go for the medical checkup. Maybe there is another page. Let's go and check. Yes, answers. No, I think this is the only list of questions we have. These are the only questions we have and he has answered all those questions. This is one questionnaire. Similarly, there will be other types of questionnaires also. You have to check here. I think this is also similar kind of questionnaire. No problem. When we create in the planning cockpit, I will show you. There are other questionnaires also depending on the type of medical checkup. Right? So this is the questionnaire I wanted to show you. Next, after that, injury or illness. If Michael Ryder had any injury or illness, where do you check that? In order to check the injury related data, you need to go to this option called go to, and below there is an option called injury illness log. So go to that option, injury illness log, and that will take you to the application where it will show you how many injuries were sustained by Michael Ryder, and more detail you can find in this. Okay, let me open one. I'll open this second one in English. This is the injury illness log related to Michael Ryder. So what kind of injury it is? It is injury where they have given first aid at accident with referral. And if you come down, maybe it contains the detail below. Yeah, he is saying what is his job. I am responsible for cleaning the varnishing robot at regular intervals. Fine. But related to injury, if you want to see, you can directly go to the event tab. In the event tab, it will give you what happened exactly. Mr. Ryder had to clean the robot unit A. He unplugged one of the oil pipes and the injury happened when cleaning the work equipment. Okay, see, this is the injury. Injury occurred while cleaning the work equipment. And what kind of injury, whether it was a cut or laceration or abrasion or burns or fracture, what exactly happened, what kind of injury, that you can find here in the injury section. Michael Ryder had an injury and there are two injuries that he sustained. One was a contusion, another one was scratch. Scratch we all understand, but what is contusion? Scratch means maybe to the surface of the machine his hand got scratched and it started bleeding, maybe that is the meaning of scratch. Contusion, I don't know exactly like what injury it is, contusion. But it is saying here contusion is also one injury he sustained at extensively, and where it occurred, the body part was arm. So there are two injuries, one to the hand, another to the arm. Okay, one was a scratch, another was a contusion. There are other types of injuries also. If you go to the list, it will show you all kind of injuries that we can have. Like poisoning is also one kind of a injury or illness. Or skin disorder can be a illness, contusion, irritation, scratch, swelling, all this, poisoning, cut, fracture, sprain, abrasion, laceration, all this, burn. Even burns are considered as a injury. So for Michael Ryder, these are the two applicable injuries, scratch and contusion. Then after that, we can go to the first aid or follow-up treatment. What kind of first aid treatment was given to him? You can maintain the data. But I will not go into detail very much because we'll see all this later on. I am just trying to show you the injury illness record for Michael Ryder. Next, if you click on back, it will take you back to the medical service. It is not only the injury illness log. I had told you we can also see the incident accident log. So in which incident or accident Michael Ryder was involved, if you want to see that, go to incident accident log and it will give you the information. So there are two incidents he was involved in. One is he slipped out because of oil spill. This is one incident. And there was one work related illness. These are the two incidents he was exposed to. So again, if you go inside, it is very similar to your injury illness law. You have multiple tabs where you have to maintain the data for the incident accident log. Again, I will not go in detail, otherwise it will be very lengthy and you will forget the other things. So in the incident accident log, we have to maintain the event related data, how the incident happened and what. Who are the people involved in the accident? You can conduct a small investigation in the investigation tab. You can upload certain documents like eyewitness statement or if you have taken pictures of the accident, all that. And then we can implement the safety measures. So this is how your incident accident looks like. We are able to access this. By the way, do you know in which component this comes? Incident accident log. Incident accident log belongs to which component? Does it belong to occupational health?
Industrial hygiene and safety.
Very good. Yeah. Incident accident log actually belongs to industrial hygiene and safety. So that is another component, not occupational health. but they have integrated this in such a way that from the medical service, which is part of occupational health, you can go to incident accident log directly. So you can jump from occupational health to industrial hygiene and safety if you want to see the incident related data. Right? So that is also possible from your medical service. And then what else? You can see even his HR master record if at all you want. Right? You can go to the HR master data and you can see his details, his addresses, personal data you can see, and also you can see for how many days he was absent or anything like that. Right? So this is the HR data for Michael Rader. We don't use this normally because it is belonging to HR department. But you can access if you want. Right? So all these other areas of your occupational health you can access from the medical service. So that is why I told you it is like a complete data bank. You can see a lot of details about his medical history, plus also you can access his other information like personal information, and you can see how many times he got injured, what are the accidents he was involved in. All this data you can access from medical service. So this is a very important application, so don't forget the transaction code EHS AMB TAET. This is the transaction code. Okay, so fine, this is again I wanted to show you in the medical service. It took almost like 45 minutes just to see the medical service. Next, let's move on. Any doubt before that?
Yeah. So, can we consider like purchase order in Means in purchase order there are all details are covered, right? So like that, most of the data covered in medical service, right?
Yeah, somewhat similar, but the area of application is different.
Yes, yes,
If from purchase order, can you go to the material related data or can you access the production data? Is it possible?
yes, yes.
In that case, fine, yes. Because here
All.
also we are accessing HR data, no, from EHS.
Mm, okay. Yes, in purchase order also we can access the data like invoice,
Uh,
GR, good receipt,
yeah,
all material
yes.
vendor,
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. Vendor data also you can access, supplier data you can access. Okay, and that particular material information you can access. That is material master you can access. Production
Yes,
related data or forecasting. In PP, there is a concept called forecasting. So that forecasting for that product you can access the data. Yeah, similar, but again the applications are different.
yes, yes. That's
It works in a similar fashion. Yeah. But purchase order, you can generate a report. You can actually generate a purchase order in the form of document. But here we
yes.
cannot generate medical service like a document. That is not
Mhm.
possible. Okay, so that was our medical service in detail. Next, let's move on to brief consultation. So, what is a brief consultation? There also you might have observed. For Michael Ryder, there was a brief consultation. See, Michael Ryder also went for brief consultation. Let me see here if I can. Yeah, okay. You see this brief consultation? Brief consultation means what? First we will see that, then we'll discuss. So, what is a brief consultation? According to SAP, using this procedure, you can document brief consultations. Using this procedure, you can document brief consultations. For example, when a patient visits the health center briefly for medical advice, for medical advice. Briefly for medical advice, or is given medication, for a headache, Yeah, so what is this exactly? A brief consultation is a normal medical consultation, just like how you go for the medical consultations, it is exactly same. But there is a difference. If there was no difference, we could call it as a normal medical consultation. But there is a difference. The difference is when a patient visits the health center briefly for medical advice, okay, or is given medication for a headache. See, these two examples they are giving. Can you tell me then what is the difference between the normal medical condition, medical consultation and brief consultation? Like if you have fever, you will go to the physician. That is a consultation. But that consultation is different from a brief consultation. Using this procedure, you can document brief consultation. For example, when a patient visits the health center briefly for medical advice or is given medication for a headache. So what did you understand by this? What is a brief consultation?
Means if any abnormal means pain in the body, or maybe headache, or maybe body pain with no specific area, I guess. I think stress, strain, maybe those
Then
kind
that
of
will
things.
also be called as a medical consultation only if that is happening.
Sir, as you said, brief consultation means the doctor needs to rule out the exact diagnosis of the patient. No? So they will take all the tests and even no medication also they will be providing to the patient.
No, these
Finding out
are.
the exact diagnosis.
It's like what precaution you should have taken, or what food like they will suggest in brief consult.
Okay. Fine. See, I'll tell you, if you read it correctly, they are saying the patient will visit the health center briefly, means for a very short period of time. Okay, that is the first point. So a brief consultation happens for a very short period of time, maybe for 10 minutes, 15 minutes maximum. That is one point. Secondly, a brief consultation is more likely involving a medical advice, nothing more than that. Let's say you want to get some medical advice. For example, you want to reduce your weight. You are gaining a lot of weight and you feel that you need to reduce it. And who better than physician? If you go to physician, he will tell you exactly what to do, what food to take, so that you can reduce the weight. So you want to take that advice. Fine, you can go to the physician and you can ask for advice. Okay, there no medical test is involved. He will not check anything. He will not check his weight. He will not check his body mass index. Nothing. You are asking for advice. He will give you advice. Very simple. That is one example. Or maybe you are having a headache. Normally, when we go to companies or any plant, you cannot carry medicine with you. In some companies, it is very strict. You cannot carry drugs or medicine or any pharma product. And if at all you have to carry, you have to take the permission. Especially in oil and gas, especially in construction sites, where there is a high hazard activity, you cannot carry the medicine. Why you cannot carry? Do you know what is the reason? Why companies don't allow you to carry the medicine? It is good, right? If you need it, you have to take the medicine.
To prevent misuse by other persons.
Yeah, to prevent misuse, that is one. Or if there is any, uh, like the quantity is more, if the dosage they take more, it may result into accidents. Right? Drugs are drugs, they induce unconsciousness, giddiness, and all that will happen. So by mistake, if he consumes it more, on the job some accident may happen and he may get severely injured. To prevent such kind of situation from happening, they will not allow the employees to carry the medicine or pharma product. Instead, what they can do, if you have a company health center, you can go to that health center. If you need any medicine, you can ask. Like suppose if you are having a headache, you can go to the company health center, you can ask for the medicine. No need to carry it from your home. So if you have a headache, you will again go to that physician and you will tell you are having a headache and simply he will give you a common tablet. Do you think he will do all kind of tests before he gives you the medicine? Do you think he will tell you go and get the MRI scan, only then I will give you the medicine for headache? No, it's a common symptom. Headache, cough, okay, sneezing, or slight fever, all these are common symptoms. You don't have to go for medical checkup mandatorily. All these are common symptoms. So therefore, the doctor can give you the medication without doing any medical test. So what is that telling us? It is telling us that brief consultation is where no medical test will be carried out. You have a headache, fine, he will give you the medicine and you can come back. How much time it will take? Maybe 5 minutes. Or you want to get some advice, medical advice from him, again you will go to him and you will speak. You will get some medical advice. So in all such cases, there is no medical test involved. He will not subject you to any kind of examination. And also the time duration is very small, maybe 5 to 10 minutes maximum, that's it. So such kind of consultations are called as brief consultations. And it is also telling you such kind of even small medical consultations can also be recorded in your occupational health. Not only major injuries, not only some major medical checkups, apart from that even very simple medical procedure can also be captured. And we have an application. There is a transaction code to create a brief consultation. We can create a brief consultation and we can manage the data. So brief consultation is a consultation where you can go and get the advice from the doctor, or if you have some headache or cold or cough, you can take simple medicine. That is called as a brief consultation. So here for Michael Ryder also you can see that he went for a brief consultation sometime back, but they have not given exactly what was the reason. Right, you can see here it's not showing any reason. Let me check below. Right, you see, but it is in German language. It is in German language. I don't know. Yeah, below we have in English. Adaptation of the intensive insulin therapy to the working condition. Maybe it was a suggestion. He wanted to get some suggestion or advice from the doctor regarding the insulin therapy. So therefore, Michael Ryder went to the doctor and he took some advice on the intensive insulin therapy. So this is advice. He has taken advice. So that is why even such a small medical issue has been recorded in the brief consultation. Okay, you are getting my point. So brief consultation only contains some small advices taken or any medication taken from the physician. So this is one example. So brief consultation, I hope you are clear. Next, I'll just tell you what is a medical certificate. Everybody knows, but SAP has given a definition for this. I'll write that. Notification of examination results. Notification of examination results to the employer. So what is a medical certificate? It is a notification of examination results. And this medical certificate will only be shared with the employer. They don't give the medical certificate directly to the employee because it is a confidential data, and even when I say employer, they will share it with the HR. It's a confidential data. So therefore, instead of handing out medical certificate to the employee, they will share it with the HR department. That is a medical certificate. Next, any doubts so far, guys? Are you following? Please let me know any question, any confusion. I will clear that before we continue. Okay, clear so far. Right, now let's move on to medical data import. What is a medical data import?
It is the data, means like if some reports that we can import in our SAP system.
Yes, but from where you are importing, that is important. It's not from one system to another system. It is not like from my computer system I am importing the data or I am
No,
exporting the
it
data.
is
It is not.
from a particular device.
Yeah,
Like if
from a medical device or from a medical equipment, you can connect that medical equipment to your SAP system and you can directly pull the data. No need to first generate the report, print the report, scan the report and then upload into SAP. No need to do all that. A very simple process is connect that medical device to your SAP system and you can import the data directly into SAP. That is called as a medical data import. But this is not applicable for all kind of medical tests. It is only applicable for 3 types of medical tests or examinations. I will tell you what they are, but first let me write. You can import the results of medical tests from laboratories or technical medical equipment to the SAP system as ASCII files. So it means we can directly import the data from any medical equipment or from the laboratory. No need to first print the report and then scan. No need of that. Directly the data itself we can import into SAP. But this option is given only for 3 types of examinations. First, we can do the medical data import for audiogram. Okay, for audiogram, from the audiogram equipment, you can directly import the data. Next, any kind of laboratory examination like blood test, tissue test, urine test, all that, you can directly pull the data. And third is pulmonary function test. In India, we call it as LFT, lung function test. So this is the third medical test where you can import the data directly from the equipment into our SAP system. Right? That's a medical data import. Clear, guys? Understood? We have few other things in theory, like I have to discuss at length about the injury illness log, and then I have to tell you about the protocol log. There is one more thing called as protocol log. I'll tell you what it is.